And welcome to this edition of ACAP Today for the week of May 3rd, 2021. I'm Jason Parent with the Aristic County Action Program. On this week's edition, we start our month-long celebration of Community Action Month, speaking with national, state, and local leaders in community action about the importance of the community action movement and the great work being done from shore to shore. We will connect with Denise Harlow, the CEO of the Community Action Partnership, with Megan Hannan, a repeat guest from the Maine Community Action Partnership, and with ACAP's own Chief Operating Officer, Jamie Chandler. We're going to do that in just a moment, but first, as we do each week in our broadcast, a quick snippet of some news and information that you can use, again, for this, the week of May 3rd, 2021. And we start in our news segment with a notice from our prevention team that they will be airing the documentary film the story of Clay Soper's tragic accidental death from mixing prescription drugs with alcohol, which is an opportunity for parents and children to gather together in a Zoom format. It's sponsored by ACAP's Drug-Free Aristic Coalition, as well as the Power of Prevention along with Cary Medical Center. So we invite all of you to either reach out to Kim Parent or to Robin Thurston to connect with us. Their information's there on the screen. If you would like to view the documentary and participate in this discussion, please do so. They will send you the Zoom link, and we look forward to having many of you in the community join us for this activity. The next item that we wanted to make you aware of is the continued opportunity to apply for emergency rent relief here in Aristic County. If your household size and income match up with what you're seeing on the screen, and even if they don't, if your household income maybe is a little bit over, please do consider applying. We can work with you through the process. In addition to providing rental assistance, we provide assistance for utilities as well. It's well worth checking in. You can either go to our website or mainehousing.org/COVID-rent to complete the application online. If you're unable to complete the application online, give us a call, 764-3721, and we will help you complete the application and get the process started with you. But we certainly invite one and all renters who have been impacted in any way by COVID-19, including if just the cost of groceries in your household has gone up over the last year. We'd be happy to help you apply for this critical program. Now is also a great time to apply for the Home Energy Assistance Program. You can get a same week appointment of your call. The family size and income information is there on your screen. Again, if you have not applied yet this season and think you may qualify, it's certainly worth a call. Our Home Energy Assistance Program team will gladly talk you through the application process and work with you to get you certified. So please do consider calling if you haven't applied yet this season and you think you might qualify. We also want to remind folks of the special enrollment period. Our healthcare marketplace navigator, Stan Targonski, is standing by to work with folks. Even if you are in the marketplace currently and haven't reassessed your options since the 1st of April of this year, now is a good time to connect with Stan. He can help you to determine whether or not there may be a better a plan for you, a better deal for you, given the new increased tax credits that were available starting on the 1st of April. We do have open available appointments through the 15th of May, which is the end of the special enrollment period. And we do encourage you to reach out to us if you are in need of health insurance or if you currently are in the marketplace and need a review of your plan. We also want to remind folks that we are helping with the COVID-19 vaccination effort here in the state of Maine. The COVID-19 website for the state is on the screen there. But in addition to that, if you are unable to connect with your local provider, many of them have online registration opportunities available. Please do connect with us. We're helping folks under the age of 60. The Aristic Area Agency on Aging is helping folks 60 and above. Register for appointments. Give us a call at 764-3721 if we can help you get registered for your local vaccination clinic. As you can see, many of our team members, from Jamie to myself here and many in between, have gotten our vaccination, and we are encouraging all of you to do so as well to keep our entire community healthy and safe. We are, in that same regard, asking you to help us take part in a community survey. Our team is working diligently with the District Coordinating Council for Public Health, which includes all of the healthcare providers in the region, to conduct a survey for COVID-19 to help determine what are some of the areas where we can improve, to get greater access to local resources and develop additional tools to create healthier communities. We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can get this link directly off of the ACAP website, acap-me.org, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can get the community vaccinated. We also want to share with the community that this week we learned that we were awarded a $15,000 grant from the John T. Gorman Foundation for our family safety program, which provides safety education and resources directly to families with young children in Aroostook County right in their homes. So we thank the John T. Gorman Foundation, and for those families that we're working with, we'll be contacting you about additional information about how this program will impact your household and how we can help you ensure that your environment, your home environment is safe. And we also want to remind folks, as we have been on ACAP Today, of Maine's collaborative workforce, which includes the Aroostook County Action Program, offering virtual sessions, workforce sessions to help individuals who are looking to re-engage in the workforce or who are looking to change their career perhaps. We are offering various workshops on a regular basis along with our partners on a statewide effort, and we encourage you to enroll for these courses. Contact us here at ACAP and our workforce development team will connect you with the next scheduled workshop of your interest. We also remind folks that if you are in need of any assistance at this time and maybe aren't quite sure what that assistance is or how to navigate and connect with it, through our CARES Act funding, we do have a team of navigators that are available to help you. As part of our pandemic response, we encourage you to reach out to us again at 764-3721. You can also go online and get the process started there. But really, if you have any questions or any needs right now on available programs or services in our community, we want you to understand that we are here for you and you can certainly contact us. And lastly, as I mentioned, this is Community Action Month, and as part of that, we are asking our community to take some action. We regularly have a sponsor of the month for our free community cupboard just outside of our 771 Main Street Presque Isle location. This month, in lieu of one sponsor who usually provides us with $500 to provide food, to pay for food throughout the month, we are asking our entire community to help us adopt the community cupboard. Each day of the month has a dollar value on it, from $1 to $31. We've already had some good response to this program, but if you would like to help us fill the community cupboard this month, please do go online to our website and you can even process your payment right there. It's a great way to help feed those who are food insecure during the month of May. So we thank you for that. And as we head into our interview, just again, we shared this with you last week, but thank you to the Aroostook County Commissioners who officially declared May Community Action Month and recognize the region-wide effort of ACAP. WAGM will be covering a story on May as Community Action Month, and look for that on their newscast coming up real soon. And with that, now it is time to start our conversation for Community Action Month, and a special welcome to Denise Harlow from Community Action Partnership. It's so great. You have 1,100 children across the country, and we're probably the most unruly in this far northeast corner, and you have chosen to spend part of your day with us, and we appreciate that.
I so appreciate the invitation. I wish I could be with you in person. It's getting to be a really pretty time of the year, right? So
it is. The green is coming out, and
it's coming.
We would love to welcome you to Aroostook County at any time.
Soon.
We can certainly host you well. And a woman who can confirm that we are among the most unruly of her children is Megan Hannan, who is the CEO, Executive Director of the Maine Community Action Partnership. Megan, welcome back to ACAP Today.
Thanks, Jason. It's great to be back.
And Jamie Chandler, ACAP COO, it's always great to welcome you. I don't get to see enough of you in person, even though you're just across town from me, but it's great to see you in a box again. And Jamie's frozen in a box right now, so we're going to actually start our conversation with you, Denise. Talk about the importance, if you will, for us of Community Action Month, and then really about the network and why this is a great time to recognize the efforts of the network.
There's 1,000 organizations across the country. There's so many different programs and services that each organization provides. No two community action agencies look alike, but May is a chance for us to elevate the visibility of the great work that the staff, that the boards, the volunteers are doing all over this country, and talk about the success stories of customers who come to Community Action for assistance. And in this moment in time with COVID, we've had so many new folks find Community Action, either as a customer, as a donor, as a place to support in their community. I love how you're having your adopt the May month for your food distribution piece. I think that's just a wonderful way to engage the broader community in Community Action Month. But it's a good time in May.
Megan, I know that you've been working with a statewide group of folks on getting the word out about community action. Tell us a little bit about those efforts and what we can expect to hear. We're just starting the month. It's the first Monday of the month, and it's going to roll on. What can we expect from Maine Community Action Partnership this month?
Well, we're hoping to pepper in some things that are local to each of the different community action agencies, and then some of the things that we're doing together. So certainly, as Denise said, with COVID times, we have a lot of new things that we are doing with a lot of new people. We're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about how we work together to make sure that Maine people have heat during the winter, and during our rent relief program, and how we've all worked together on a few really key and important programs and what the impact of that is for the whole state. So we're working on the numbers, but they're pretty big and it's pretty impressive.
Now, Denise, there's a saying that goes something like, if you've seen one community action agency, you've seen one community action agency. But there really is, we say that sort of tongue in cheek because we've all kind of evolved a bit differently, but there's a real core principle there in the work of community action and its significance. Talk about that and about how you bring together this network of, I guess, 1,100 action agencies across the country.
I was on with an agency in St. Louis today doing a similar kind of conversation, right? So it's interesting. Now we're having this conversation in Maine later in the day, and there's something about community action. We sometimes even talk about the Kool-Aid. You drink about the Kool-Aid and you get community action in you because it is of and from the community. Community action is all about local. So what happens in Aristic is going to be very different than what happens in Albany versus what's going to happen in Memphis or something like that, right? Community action is all about the local needs balanced with the local resources. So agencies are very conscious about not duplicating, right? But we partner deeply with other nonprofits, with local governments, with school systems, with academic institutions, healthcare systems. And and the boards of directors that are at community action agencies are what we call tripartite, right? So sitting around the board table in all parts of our country are 1/3 of the boards are elected officials, 1/3 are from the private sector, and 1/3 are democratically selected from low-income communities. And that model is the same all over the country, which drives local decisions about how monies get spent, local decisions about what programs the organization offers, and individual community investment that just brings folks together. So being in and of the community is so critically important. The other element is a needs assessment. And you talked about that in your opening as well, right? So periodically, community action agencies and regularly need to do needs assessments. It's in statute even. So we understand deeply local community needs and resources so we can be really that hub of the wheel in many ways to help families in our communities.
Great. Jamie Chandler, so glad that you're back in with us. Want to sort of have you pick up from that point that Denise was just talking about in terms of how ACAP ensures that we are really reflective, because much like, there are different agencies. Denise was talking about Aristic is different than Albany. Even here in Aristic County, we really look at, a region the size geographically of larger than Rhode Island and Connecticut combined. We have geographic discrepancies in our region, and we really work very closely to ensure we're meeting people at a community level.
Absolutely. It's so important. And a lot of the work that our team does is around partnering with community members to really learn what it is that our communities are facing and what are the challenges, and how can we either as leaders or in partners with others help to develop programs and initiatives and strategies to help meet those challenges and help people, to improve their lives and make life better. That is our tagline here at ACAP, is to make life better. And so, really working, we have representation, as Denise was talking about our tripartite board. We have members of the board that represent all geographic regions of Aroostook County, and the importance of having those members give their insight and their expertise of their service areas and their towns that they live in, to be able to help us as a leadership team to be able to make those decisions that will best meet the needs of the community members.
And Megan, in terms of taking that kind of local energy and then harnessing that in the statewide perspective, that's really what your focus has been in. And there has been quite a bit of momentum in that regard here in the state of Maine over the last 18 months or so. I mean, just before the pandemic and through the pandemic, you joining us first and foremost as a full-time executive director has been tremendous for the association or for the partnership. But what have been some of the wins that you've seen over the last 18 months or so for community action in Maine?
There have been a couple, but let me just talk about the board again for a second, because I have worked for two huge nonprofits that were national and international, and they always talked about working from the ground up, but it didn't always turn into reality. So the thing that I really love about community action is that it is the reality. You know, the boards are there. We work with real people every day to talk about what the community needs, and they're part of the solution, not just what we will give to you or we will, do to you, that there's actually a partnership there, which makes it really, really special. Some of the wins, wow. It's hard to even remember 18 months. It's been such a whirlwind. You just talked about the community needs assessment. For the first time, we're all going to do that together this year as one state. It'll be broken down by county so that we can get the local, granular details that we need. But we are going to do it together and really embark on a nice trip that way. We're going to be working with our BIPOC partners to do a little bit of oversampling there in some places that hasn't been done before. Certainly new things that have come along. The rent program I mentioned a minute ago, that has been amazing. We've been able to move a lot of money out through the door, and there's a lot more to come there, bringing a lot of people who've never heard about community action before, because it's only because of the virus that they are not working, and they've always worked. We were able to keep Head Start families fed when we had to shut down Head Start, and then bringing people back slowly but surely, making sure that everybody had what they needed. Starting for many of us, not all of us, but really officially working in the whole family 2 generation, being able to bring more resources to those of you like ACAP who have been doing this for a while, but being able to start others on it as well. So, it's been a hard time during COVID times, but we've been able to stretch and learn and work together really well. And I think that Maine will be better for it. In 5 years, we're going to say, this was a terrible thing that happened, but it made us stronger.
Denise, I want to pick up on a couple of things that Megan just mentioned there, because the partnership, your organization has been leading in many areas, but in 2 in particular, surrounding equity and surrounding the whole family agenda. There's really been some really great momentum, and those really do connect very much to the roots of why community action exists in the first place. Do they not?
Certainly, it's interesting because we can talk to Jen and whole family and person-centered and all of that. We can talk that language, right? Community action from its get-go was about the entire family. We're not providing 1 service or 2 services or 3 services. There's such a range of services, and either the agencies provide them specifically or they're able to refer out. So it truly is about the whole family. And with our roots coming, the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, all parts of that construct of the 60s to change this country, to create opportunity, to tear down barriers. And last week we hosted our National Community Action Equity Summit, which was requested by our National Equity and Economic Mobility Commission, which was established in March of last year. And we had national speakers, we had national panels, but we also had small table conversations that allowed people to connect. We hosted racial healing circles as well earlier in the week. And that builds on the partnerships work over decades, really trying to ground our work in equity. And going back to the 2-gen whole family approach, equity is at the center of that. We've had John Powell from the Othering and Belonging Institute join us many times over the years, and he talks about the othering of people. And if we're going to work with the whole family and be successful with a 2-gen approach and change systems, because you got to change schools, you got to change kind of healthcare, you got to change policies and procedures at your, the social services. There's a lot of different things that have to happen. You have to believe that that family matters, that the needs of that family are equal to any other family in a community. And if we other that family, we're not going to be successful. And so equity is grounded at the center of our 2-gen whole family approach. And we're excited that Maine is really kind of leading in you look at pockets of leadership over the country where community action / human services are working together to move toward a whole family approach across the state. Maine is certainly leading on the leading edge of all of that, which is really exciting to see.
And Jamie Chandler, you've really been instrumental in ACAP's efforts to lead in that regard. Talk about how far you and your team have come, our team has come in the last several years.
Absolutely. So if you look back to 2017, we were just thinking about, how do we as an agency provide a comprehensive service to the customers that we serve? We had we had operated sort of in silos. And so there wasn't a lot of coordination of services for the customers that were receiving services under the same roof. And so we worked really hard to develop a team of ACAP members who were representative of multiple programs across the agency that really felt like we needed to get back to the roots of what community action was originally designed to do. And that was to make sure that, like Denise said, service the whole family and really look at what are the challenges, what are the needs that this family has, and how can we provide them with all of the supports that can put them on a journey to self-sufficiency. And so that was really the start of the work that we've done here at the agency. We started with one family coach who worked with early Head Start families, providing a whole family approach. And I believe we're now at 10, and we're recruiting for more family coaches to help us to expand our whole family services, because so many individuals see the benefit of a whole family approach. And one really cool thing about the way that our comprehensive service delivery model has been implemented is our customers are in the driver's seat. They are the ones that tell us what their goals are, what their dreams are. And it's our staff that just help to provide them the resources. And we should sort of, just put a roadmap out and let them know what direction they can go in. But ultimately, it's their choice. And they know their family best, and they make the best choice for their family. And we just sort of help them to find the right road to that success.
And Megan, in your relatively short tenure with Maine Community Action Partnership, you've seen that effort grow and extend statewide.
Yes, absolutely. I know you guys made some pretty major changes to the way that you, as Jamie just said, the way you bring families in. And I see others who have been like, well, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And now saying, maybe we actually need to change the way we do business so that we can do this better, which is really wonderful to see.
So Denise, want to get your thoughts as we start this month. The pandemic has, I think others have said, taken the best kept secret that has been community action and brought us out right into the forefront. What are your thoughts about not only how we work through this pandemic, but what the future of community action is?
And you hear this also from David Bradley, our advocate for community action in Washington, D.C. Yeah, we're no longer really kind of the best kept secret when policymakers and funders and philanthropy are looking for solutions. Community action has stepped up. And again, Maine has done a fantastic job of stepping right into that space. Yes, we will get this money out the door. Yes, we will be efficient. And yes, we will be effective for the families, right? It's both the business efficiency and the family mission impact that makes community action really the key partner. There's the infrastructure, there's the fiscal accountability. All this stuff is built into this infrastructure of a community action network in the state of Maine and across the country, right? So if I'm skating to where the puck's gonna be, right, down the way, I see, my hope is that momentum continues. The network has done some really great work over the last 10 years to really talk about our accountability, to be more visible about our accountability and our effectiveness and our impact. We've been outcome-based for many, many years. We were ahead of the curve on outcomes and logic models and all that stuff. CAPs were ahead of that. And we've really been able to amplify that over the last 10 years, I think. And in the COVID, it's going to be one of those flywheel moments, I guess Jim Collins talks about. Do what you do well and do more of it and do more of it and do more of it. We are able to get complicated money out the door, which funders like, government likes. Families get resources efficiently and effectively, and we figured out some tech solutions and doing all this other stuff remotely. So 5 years from now, why not turn to community action for solutions? We will be at the table. We will be at the head of the table in some cases. They will expect to see community action at the state legislature making comments on hearings, because of course they're going to turn to us. We've shown ourselves, and we've leapfrog again. We've leapfrog. I can't think of the right verb in that space. So 5 years from now, we will be. 10 years from now, if we keep those momentum going in terms of proven effectiveness, using evidence-based, science-based, and that's again where 2Gen really sits, those 0 to 5, that brain development, there's so much there we know and what we can do and what we are doing. There's nothing this network can't do. And it's all for the betterment of families. I firmly believe that I'll put the Community Action Network up against any other human services network, but this infrastructure has the opportunity to transform human services, transform the way healthcare and human services work together, so we can truly be the place where you talk social determinants of health, you see community action at the front of that picture, because we help families and we're grounded in community. So
probably the most important of all is transforming lives, right, Denise?
Yep.
I'm sure you'd agree with that. Megan, Hannan, from the state perspective, where do you see community action heading?
Well, we certainly are in the legislature. There were 6 bills directly affecting us in labor and housing public hearing Monday morning, and about 5 more in Health and Human Services Monday afternoon. It's been crazy. But people are now calling and saying, hey, Megan, are you going to do this? Are you going to talk on this bill? Are you going to come to this press conference? So we are getting out there, and I think that we can really be a force, and that the folks in the legislature, the folks in the governor's office see us as part of the solution for things that have to go quickly, like a lot of the things that, the money that came with the CARES and the other relief packages, but long-term, that we're here for the long term. We've been here and we're not going anywhere. So I think we can definitely show our strength and have done that really, really well this year, despite, challenging long days of Zoom meetings, which is new to all of us.
And Jamie, Chandler, what does the next 50 years of community action look like here in Aristic County?
Absolutely. So as you've heard, it's about, making sure that we are meeting those community needs and staying on top of what those current events and current issues are. And so as you've seen over the last 18 months and actually over ACAP's almost 50-year existence, that is what we do. We respond to those needs. We are the resource within the community. I recall talking with an individual who said, yeah, I don't know where I need to go for help, but I know that if I call ACAP, if they can't help me, they know who can. And so that's exactly what the future of ACAP is really being able to pull those resources together and to be able to meet those challenges and help people live their best lives.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so final thoughts from each of you. Let's go down the line. We'll start with you, Denise, at the national level, and then go from state to local.
Well, happy Community Action Month. I can't wait to see ACAP's social media presence, perhaps on Transformation Tuesdays and Impact Thursdays or whatever we got going on. And if you have any old pictures for Flashback Fridays, those are always really good ones to share as well. But enjoy Community Action Month. Please know it's done in thankfulness for all the great work that local agency teams are doing, and thankfulness for also all the families who trust to come, their trust is put in us, and we don't take that lightly. We take it very seriously. So happy Community Action Month.
Megan, Hannan?
I'll reiterate that. It's a lot of fun working with the 10 different agencies. Everyone has stories about how it's been since last Community Action Month. I mean, I had just started last Community Action Month, so it was kind of easy, take the stuff and localize, put on your logo, that kind of thing. This year, the stories are really different and really impactful. And I can't wait to be part of telling them.
And lastly, Jamie Chandler.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about Community Action Month because it gives us an opportunity to really share who we are and what we do and the impact that we make. And so I'm just really excited to be able to share not only with our local community, but far and wide, the work that we do in the tip top of Maine, and how our little county has such far-reaching impact. So just really excited about that opportunity to be able to share that work and make us no longer the best kept secret.
As we sometimes say internally, our little cap that could here in Aristic County. Denise, Harlow, Megan, Hannan, Jamie Chandler, thank you so much for being our guest to kick off Community Action Month. We're going to have some other fantastic episodes. We're going to talk with some of the folks whose lives we've impacted in the coming weeks, and just really connect and ground us here in Aristic County and why community action is making a difference in lives each and every day. Before we leave you on this webisode, though, we want to first share with you, as we usually do at this point, if you are interested, if what you've heard is something of interest to you, and you would like to consider joining our team, we do have the current openings that you see there on your screen and would welcome your application. Please do consider checking out our website and the available openings, as we do have updates to that on a frequent basis. And also, we want to leave you with, as we usually do, our snapshot of the week. This snapshot of the week is our Director of Program, Sue Powers, and our Program Coordinator, Amy Murchison, in early care and education. We're presenting earlier this week ACAP's family coaching model at the Region 1 Spring Forum for Head Start. The topic of discussion was family engagement pre-COVID to post-COVID, and certainly a couple of local experts sharing their findings at this conference. And again, before we leave you, we have a little something special that we're going to run at the end of each edition of ACAP Today throughout Community Action Month. It's the recitation of the Community Action Promise, and this was edited together by our own Becca in our communication and development team, and it features all the members of ACAP's leadership team sharing the Community Action Promise. So with that, enjoy the Community Action Promise and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next week for another edition of ACAP Today. The promise of community action.
Community action.
Community action.
Community action changes people's lives,
embodies the spirit of hope,
improves communities,
and makes America and
Aroostook County a better place to live.
We care about the entire community.
We care about the entire community.
We care about the entire community, and we are dedicated to helping people help themselves and each other.